Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am going to discuss all about crystal healing. If you have gotten a chance to see my other workshop all about crystals and how to charge them up, how to take care of them, how to have them best work for you, this is the second part to all the different ways that you can use crystals. And this is what I have in my own house, and so what I use. I've been working with crystals for many years. I've always been really drawn and attracted to them. I would say that it was part of my spiritual awakening in many ways to understand that, we are more than just the body, and that there is an energy that connects us all, and an energy that moves through all things. And of course, crystals have that energy. And in fact, they are the oldest energy keepers within our world. So many of our crystals, if you did not see that video that I made the other day, many of our crystals are actually 50 to 500 million years old. And so it's quite astonishing when you think about the crystals that you may have in your home being that old, and they contain all those memories from all the ages of mankind, and also maybe pre-mankind as well, of course. So I wanted to discuss some of the tools that uses crystal electromagnetism and energy and the different ways and how you can increase the energy of crystals, all by its shape and structure, and how you really direct the energy. So I'm going to move this down here so you can see my table. I've tried to set this up for you to see a little bit more clearly here. So as you can see, I have a lot of pyramids. And while I would say that I'm not saying that the whole Egyptian mythology is something that has all the truth and we should always follow what they say, but there is a lot of wisdom that is within ancient Egypt, especially with the geometrical shape of the pyramid. Crystals themselves have a crystalline structure that if you had to go into the atomic structure of a crystal, it would actually look very much like a pyramid shape. And one of the things that the pyramids, the ancient Egyptian pyramids, had a long time ago is they did have a crystal cornerstone at the very top to be able to act as a conductor of energy. And so many of you may remember that, and that's something that's kind of lost within history, but that is what that shape was about. So what I do is I put my crystals in a pyramid-like structure. As you can see, I actually line up all my crystals. And that is because the energy actually flows upward and out. Now, the person that actually discovered this, or rediscovered it, because it was really something that always existed in nature, is William Reiki. So I wanted to read to you a little bit of what I wrote about him. William Reiki is the one, if any of you are familiar with Orgone pyramids, I have 2 of them at my house right now. An Orgone pyramid is something that, well, it's actually Orgone energy we'll talk about first. Orgone is something that was originally discovered or uncovered by William Reiki, who was born in 1897, and in 1930s, he described it as esoteric energy, or the hypothetical universal life force within all things. Orgone is seen as a massless, spaceless, omnipresent, timeless substance within all things, similar to luminiferous ether, but more closely associated with living energy than with inert matter. It could allegedly coalesce to create organization on all scales, from the smallest microscopic units called bions in Orgone theory, to microscopic structures like organisms, clouds, or even galaxies. This discovery led to founding of the Orgone Institute. He felt that the deficits or the constrictions in the orgone, the bodily orgone energy was responsible for disease and psychological problems. Now it is in the realm of alternative medicines and pseudo medicine or alternative medicine, and also used in sexual therapy or magic in the occult, sex magic. It is regarded as the sacred energy of an orgasm. The Nazi Party is basically responsible for dismantling and confiscating and hiding much of his work. 1941, he was actually arrested and imprisoned. And today there is a revival of his work, as you can see. And many of you probably have even heard that Orgone pyramids are getting to be pretty popular, and maybe some of you might even have one at your house. Like I said, I have two that I have here. And so the way that they're actually created and what makes them work and why it tells us a little bit more about the universe that we live in is because you can think of an Orgone pyramid as a filter for toxic energy in the atmosphere, like positive ions from EMFs that you get from your computer and other sources of technology. And its negative energy moves through the device, it's exposed to electromagnetic friction, an environment created by the mixture of metal shavings and crystal in resin. This force ultimately reorganizes the energy in a more harmonious wavelength as it exits the pyramid from the top. So many of you might not be able to see, but there's a tiny quartz crystal at the top. Now, quartz crystal is usually, it's very clear, so it's hard to see it, but it's a tiny one that sticks right up at the top. And the way that you create a Orgone pyramid is by having it 50-50 in terms of organic material that actually is all the way 50-50 with the resin material. So inside of the pyramid, there can be cotton, copper shavings, rocks, whatever you want to put. And then the resin is exactly 50%. And then you have the quartz crystal at the top. And what that does is the organic material, this is how a crystal works. The organic material actually squeezes on the crystalline structure of the crystal and produces a electrical conductor where it shoots out the energy out from the top. And that's what our pyramids were like in ancient Egypt. So this is something that I think that the ancient Egyptians were trying to emulate, was that energy. And no doubt that it's very connected to some of the extraterrestrial visitors that we once had. So this information is now getting a revival once again. We're seeing it in a new age, but now we can have our own little pyramids in our homes. We don't have to build them for just kings and queens, but this is actually for the everyday person. The masses can now use this energy. And this was always the goal of that technology. And this was the energy of Atlantis and Lemuria, being able to use quartz crystal or all crystal energy in order to become a conductor of energy. And crystal has a way of actually working on the body. I can actually read something really interesting from the Orgone Institution that I took some screenshots of for you. In 1939, Reich found that bions prepared from ocean sand had unusual radiant energy properties, including luminescence in the dark, fogging of photographic plates, and reddening of skin exposed through quartz. The finding that they could induce a charge on organic materials that would register on an electroscope led him to call this radiation Orgone energy. In an effort to isolate this radiation, Reich enclosed the SAPA bion cultures in a modified Faraday cage, but was surprised to find that the radiant energy phenomena persisted without the cultures. After a series of observations and experiments, which continued in the United States, where Reich reestablished his laboratory in late 1939, he came to the conclusion that the Orgone energy was also present in the surrounding atmosphere. and could in fact be concentrated by an apparatus such as his modified Faraday cage, which consisted of a galvanized iron box surrounded by organic materials such as wool or fiberboard. And that's what also Orgone pyramids are made of. They're resin, but they can have anything in there from cotton. I mean, anything that you can think of as far as organic material. It just has to be a 50-50. And you also have to include a quartz crystal at the very top pointing upward. And if you can surround it by copper, that also helps its electroconductivity as well. So this apparatus, the Orgone Energy Accumulator, was then further modified to increase its effect and extensively employed by Reiki in both physical and biological investigations. Saying that our life energy gets stuck in our organism is more than just a metaphor. Throughout his career, Reiki would work to demonstrate the existence of an energetic life force, Orgone energy. Reiki demonstrated how the inhibition of the flow and pulsation of life energy within our bodies gives rise to many somatic and psychological problems. A conceptualization somewhat similar but not identical to that which is the basis of many forms of non-Western medicine. The physical or somatic armor can potentially include any body part, the eyes, musculature and skin, bones, cardiovascular system, endocrine, exocrine, respiratory, immune system, nervous systems, including the brain, and all visceral organs. Reich thought that armored organ systems were more likely to become diseased. In order to literally get our life back, we have to undo blockages to the flow of energy, blockages that occur when we have not been fully able to develop the capacity to fully feel, express, and modulate our emotions. According to Reich, emotions emerge from energetic movement. When energy is blocked, so are emotions. And when emotions are blocked, so is energy. So many of you know that this is all connected to the chakras, and we'll talk more about that. But before I leave from the Orgone pyramid, because I wanted to start with this one, this was a big one to tell you about crystal energy in itself. This helps to neutralize EMF radiation, clear negative energy, aid in meditation, supports restful sleep, enhances lucid dreaming, relieves stress, and purifies the atmosphere, and detoxifies water or improves plant growth around you. So these are some of the benefits that have been discovered using the technology of crystals and the way that the energy works. And having this in your home has a conductor of this Orgone energy, that exists within nature and within everything. And we talked a little bit about how crystals are really amplifiers, and they exist in the frequency and the vibration of their color. So quartz crystal is clear, completely clear, and has to do with all of the spectrums of the 7 consciousness levels of the human. It brings you clarity into your life, and this is pure energy that can radiate outward. So Orgone pyramids will definitely help you in bringing forward more of an applied type of energy into your home. And this was the secret of the pyramid structure. And this is also the way that wands work. Now, I do not have the best Vogel crystal, as I showed you the other day, but this is the Vogel crystal cut. It has 6 dimensions at the top. And this one is a Lumerian crystal, which does not have those dimensions. And the way that they call it a Lumerian crystal is just because of how ancient it really is. If you can see all of those inclusions, oh, there you saw it in the light. See all those lines? That's considered to be a Lumerian crystal because of the lines that exist. It's almost like it's like a computer memory chip or something where it memorizes all of the, it holds and contains all the energies. This one is extremely old. I would say that this is close to 500 million years old because of all the inclusions within it. So I was able to find this online, and this is a very special one. I did not clear the energies because I do want to have the ancient energies And that's a choice. That's a personal choice if you really want that in your home. Some people may not want that. I'm at a place where I don't have any fear about the past, and I would like to know more and allow more to come to me so we can get more clarity together as I bring it forward on my channel. So that's why I did not clear them. But these two are extremely ancient. And this is the Vogel cut, because as I was talking about in my other video, Marcus Vogel discovered that this is what, when you cut a crystal, there's a certain geometric pattern. When you cut a crystal, you are allowing that energy to come through in a more unhindered way, an unblocked way, in a way that it will shoot right out. Now, there are certain ways that you can actually use a Vogel crystal. If it was longer, and if it was also like this on the other end, I could use it as a wand. I use a selenite wand, and wands, I have 3. Crystal wands are known throughout fairy tales and, our stories that we have about fairies and witches and wizards. And why do they exist within those stories? There is a truthful reality that exists within crystals. The idea that they are concentrated ways of bringing forward that energy from the crystal. This is amethyst. This is called the evening star, which I loved this. This is amethyst up here. And so this directs the energy outward to a very focused point. Whereas if an amethyst is just sitting there, it's great, but the energy just kind of sits around it. And so in a certain way that you direct the energy, you're actually directing the energy outward so that it can flow out. Now, this is not the best cut. This is more of a rough stone. If it was like this, it would be extremely powerful. Okay, so the cut and the dimension of the crystal makes that energy shoot out very strong in a very steady stream of Orgone energy. I'm actually shooting energy at you right now. So this is, if we put our intention towards a crystal, first of all, it amplifies what is in our mind. This is the secret behind wands. So when you have a crystal wand, it is amplifying your mind and your intent. And the amplification is a lot more stronger when it is towards a point so that you can focus your energy in a certain direction. My selenite unicorn, absolutely love this, has some nice moon energies to it. I don't know if you can see that very well. But of course, I've always been very drawn to unicorns, and this has a very peaceful type of feeling to it. So I love having this in my home. It really shoots upward and out in a spiral. And the reason why energy always moves upwards is, here's that reason why, is because consciousness is always moving upwards. Everything that you see in this world, in this universe, is finding its way back to prime source. Everything is moving upwards. We are in a spiral of spiritual development moving upwards. We have energy from the ground up all the way moving up to the sky into space. Everything is moving upwards in a very real way of spiritual development, of growth and evolution. And this is why he was able to create these apparatuses of Orgone energy that would actually shoot up into the sky and do what is called cloud bursting. He could actually manipulate the energy by using an Orgone pyramid in an apparatus form, using pipes and surrounding the quartz crystal with organic material so that it squeezed upon the crystalline structure of the quartz, shooting out the energy out from the top. So you can have that at your house, where you are actually supplying yourself with a continuous flow of energy instead of a crystal just sitting at your house and having the energy not really go anywhere, except when you hold it. Of course, it's going to be within you. But if you want To get a little bit more advanced in the way that you focus your energy, you can use wands to focus your intent, what you are doing, and bringing that to a sharper point of energy release, basically. So that is the wand idea, and also where energy goes when you are dealing with the different structures of crystals. The other thing that I have done is I filled this here with a bunch of quartz crystals, and this is a pyramid as well. So this is shooting upwards in my house as well. So you can always find ways of bringing the energy up and out so that it does radiate outwards for you, and it can give you more of this flow. The whole idea is to unblock certain energies within our body. The 7 chakras represent different levels. When you place a crystal that pertains to a certain chakra, right now I have a rose quartz heart. So you can see it's a very light pink. This is my favorite crystal to work with. It doesn't have to be a big crystal at all, but what you do is you want to find a way to place it on your body. This helps me whenever I have any type of problems within my body, as far as feeling like I have some kind of ailments, or especially if I'm experiencing some kind of heartache, be it physical, emotional, it's all connected. And so crystal therapy is a way of actually getting that energy to move once again. Now I have my amethyst on, but what I would do is I would have nothing on me, and you would lie down and you would place the crystal wherever you need. I usually would do it a little bit lower, closer to my heart, but I'm going to do it here so you can see. And you would set the intention that first you want this crystal to work for you. You're looking for a certain type of healing. You are looking for a release and an unblockage from the blocked chakras within you. And so you're going to set it there, and you're going to sit for about 15 minutes at the very least. And you're going to lie, and you're going to let the crystal work. Now, if you don't want to lie down, that's okay. But whatever body part that you are trying to represent in the chakras, you are trying to unblock that flow, and you're trying to get that flow again. Orgone energy is all about unblocking any type of flow of energy, because energy always wants to go up and out. And what happens is, and that's from your feet, from your root chakra all the way up to your crown. Well, what happens is when you are born, and this is all part of the spiritual development story, but when you are born, you may have some issues that make you feel ungrounded, unsafe, and insecure. And then you enter into puberty, and you may doubt yourself. Maybe you doubt your sexuality. Maybe you doubt whatever is going around with you. And as far as your reproductive, it is a center of creation too. So, and there's also traumatic events that happen. We could have maybe shared our body with somebody that did not appreciate us. We could have been raped or molested. And what happens is that center starts to close down. The wheels of circular energy that is supposed to be spinning in those areas actually stops rotation. It slows down. So the crystal that you put on that area will get, because this is a energetic tool. This has its own frequency and vibration. This is not just a solid piece of beautiful stone to look at. It has energies that move. And acting upon your closed off or blocked energies, it will push against it, and it will start to turn the wheel of energy again. And that's the point. The whole point to any type of healing is to get that energy starting to flow again. And what that means is you'll close up a portal which really is you've just learned a lesson from that level of consciousness. You've learned that, yes, somebody's touched you, but they did not touch your spirit. They may have hurt you physically, but you are a whole essence. You are consciousness itself. And so you close off that energy and you heal from that area, and you move up the spiral and up the 7 chakras, and you go through all of that with all of your body parts. Your body is connected to the universal consciousness in the terms of the flow of energy, and the crystals will help to push against blocked energy. So 15 minutes, keep it on and keep it. And while it's working, try not to think about anything else. Don't doubt, believe, let it sit there, and let its vibrations work to align with yours that are closed off, which is not the truth of who you are. The truth is that you are a spiraling mass of energy and movement, constant flow and movement. That is all molecules are. But we experience ourselves stuck in life. We experience ourselves in a stagnant state where we do not get physical or spiritual or emotional release. But it's all part of the mind. It's all part of the energy. And so when you get that energy moving again, you will experience that mind, body, soul release. And that's what you do. I highly recommend having all 7 chakras of crystals that can help you, all colors. I have indigo sunstone that I use for my third eye. Also amethyst works too. I have aventurine for my heart. And I know it's so hard to see because I have the light, but there are great sets that you can find. Even on Amazon, they're not that expensive, but you can also go to a crystal shop and you can find all the colors of the rainbow that you need. Go to the stones that you are attracted to, but find one in every color: red, yellow, orange, green, and I said that out of order. It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Find those 7. Those will be your tool for spiritual release of blockages. And it's very easy to use. And this is the next step of therapy and counseling and all the things that we do. We can start to apply the energy of the quantum world with psychology. And it's not just about talking about it on a mental level. It's about getting that energy to move once again. And that's what crystal therapy is about, and crystal Reiki is about. Now, you can get very in depth with crystal Reiki. There are a bunch of different hand movements that you can use that is actually connected to the different flows of energy of the universe. One that's really popular is a line and then the spiral, and that's that spiral energy of spiritual development. The spiral is found everywhere. The Fibonacci sequence, it's found in shells. It's found in the way that sunflowers are actually created. It's found snails. You can find that spiral energy anywhere. Tornadoes, that vortex is a great part of you. It's how your energy moves throughout your life. And it's also the wheels of energy that the chakras represent. The chakras really come from the Vedic texts, and it really represents wheels of spinning energy. In the Vedic texts of Hinduism, they're very, very old. They're probably the most ancient texts that we have. They contain information about the human consciousness to help. And you never get the actual word chakra, but you get wheels of spinning energy, 7 of them, and 7 points on the body. They represent the different levels of consciousness. And so when you get 7 crystals that represent, you will always have a tool set to help you. So if you feel ungrounded, put that crystal on your foot. Get that energy spinning once again, the red one, red or brown. And if you feel like you don't have self-esteem or confidence, put citrine. Citrine is wonderful. It's a yellow, beautiful quartz. Put it right on your solar plex and feel it release fear and any kind of insecurity that you might have. The truth of your circular spiral energy is seen within the crystal pendulum. I've made this myself. I simply took a crystal pendant and I attached a chain and a beautiful little fairy on a moon. And watch this. The reason why it works is because when universal spirit when you're aligned to it, it will move in a spiral. If you are not aligned, it will move in a straight line up and down, which represents a blockage, represents no. This is yes. You're on the path. Your energies are spiraling and you are aligned to universal energy, the Orgone force. But if it goes sideways, that's a no. That's telling you that you know deep down inside, your answer is no. I'll ask myself a question right now. Are people enjoying this? Oh, that's great. Yay. It's going in a huge spiral. I'm not moving that at all, guys. I hope you can see that. Are people enjoying this? Yay. See that? That's because when you are right, when you know deep down inside, or when you're aligned to everyone else or the universal energy, what we would call prime source, you're going to get that spiral movement and you're going to get that confirmation that you're on the right path. One of our co-founders, Cala Tirniel of the Tia El Lieva, this Elven spiritual path, she uses a pendulum for everything. And I love that. She just whips it out and she gets her answer. And this is the spiral energy. This is proof, because it moves in a spiral for you, that everything moves in a spiral. Your body can get blocked, though, and no longer move in a spiral with that energy and that flow. Crystal therapy is all about getting that flow once again. So you could direct your energy and your intention with wands at your source. You can direct it. You can get clarity on where you are in terms of, are you in alignment? Yes. Do you know deep down inside the answer is no? Yes. Okay. This is actually no, but you get your confirmation that it's no, because it moves not in that spiral. Can you surround yourself with protective energy against any kind of harmful energy that might be in your home or around you? Yes, you can. You can use the valuable tools of crystals to help you with an Orgone pyramid. Can you improve your mood? Yes, you can. This is a salt lamp. Salt lamps are great because they actually help with the negative ions. They actually help to increase and stimulate the atmosphere around you. They help to detoxify. Same thing very much like the Orgone pyramid does. This one in general will help with moods because it is a mood lamp. It actually oscillates between different colors. So it helps keep me in balance. I have this in my bathroom, although it's not good because it's salt. So it definitely is starting to melt. I need to find a different place. But this is a salt lamp, and the Himalayan salt lamps have been used for a very long time. And they are really great to have in the home. I have one right here. That's a nice big one. It's beautiful. So this is helpful with all negative energy that might be around you. This is very good for plant life. It's very good for your home environment. It actually detoxifies the atmosphere. It works with the negative and positive ions, and everything is working on an energetic level. And so when this salt lamp heats up, it helps to improve your environment, your mood, everything. Everything is all connected energetically. And this other way of helping yourself with crystals is a crystal singing bowl. These are becoming quite popular. I'm so glad that I was actually able to get one, because I would like to use it more often, and I'll even sing with it and do some fun things with it. But this is one that hits at note B, and that's the crown chakra. Crystals are attuned to certain vibrations, certain sound waves that equal certain notes. And the notes are connected to certain levels of chakras, because there are 7 notes on the scale and there are 7 chakras. Do you see how everything is connected? 7 chakras, 7 notes. It's all there for you. And once you know that, you start to get that map of consciousness, of human consciousness. And then you start to use crystals to help you to move and circulate that energy that has been blocked wherever it is in your life. And if you just need some help understanding like the different crystals or different levels of consciousness, you know, you can go online and you can look and see what each chakra represents. And I have a couple of videos for you. I actually have a whole series of chakra stuff. So you can look on a playlist that I have. And each chakra represents a particular phase or a time in your life where you will be up against a particular obstacle and trial. And the nice thing is that once you kind of close off that portal of learning, that energy is always circulating. It can become blocked once again, so you might have to work with it again. If you suffer from something very similar and you don't learn your lesson, or you don't experience some kind of revelation about it, it can become blocked again. And then that's when you can use crystal therapy to help you if you need. Sometimes it works to just think about things and get you out of that state of blocked energy. And you can get to that place once you start to unblock them for the first time. When the human consciousness becomes blocked for just going through its life, that's the very first stage. It's kind of like the ego death, or the first death, basically, where you experience yourself losing a sense of your ego, and you unblock whatever has happened to you through those subjective experiences in your life. And once you do that, you can always find a way to unblock them once again. And so crystal tools will always help you. I highly recommend having a set around so that you can, focus positive intentions towards your body. And this will have some effects on your reality. And in fact, I shouldn't say some, it will affect your reality, but you do have to believe in it. So I guess I put some in there because it's about how much you do truly trust in the quantum world. And I know that sometimes it can be hard because everything is just so solid, isn't it? It looks like everything is so material. But what makes this a material universe is moving energy. And when energy becomes stuck or stagnant, or it experiences itself as that, then how we get that reminder, that spiritual reminder that we are in constant flow and we are able to move out of situations in life and we're never stuck. We're never stuck in them. That is how crystals can help you. They can revitalize you and help to push upon that stuck energy and get that circulation once again going. There is another type of tool that I will be doing a separate video for because I'm going to create it, but it's a crystal grid. And I want to create a new one because I used to have one of the Elven star, but I'm going to take some time and I'm going to create one while I am not working because of the quarantine. And I will do a full video on how to use crystal grids because I have used them. They're very powerful tools because you're using a lot of crystals together And there's certain ways that you can direct the energy from the crystal grids. So I will go into that more on another video, but this is pretty much it. Oh, we do have crystal balls you can always use. Now, I do have a small clear crystal ball, and this is labradorite. I don't know if you can see the blue flashes. You could see the blue flash. Oh, there you go. You could see it in the sunlight better. There it is. And as I was talking about in my last video, that this is very similar to what Tolkien talked about as far as a palantir, which is it's basically a ball of communication. So there were 7 of them on Middle Earth, and the elves would gaze into them and they would get visions of events that were happening around wherever that ball was. So when you're watching The Lord of the Rings, that is the last of the 7 that remains. So it's a remnant of the ancient world of Valinor, because they were polished and created by the elves when they were living in Valinor by Feanor, before he had his fall of arrogance and pride, which led him to be exiled from Middle Earth, as well as the Noldar elves. Crystal balls are interesting. They are divination tools. What they do is they put you in a state almost like a trance, where you're focused so much on the beauty and the color of the crystals, and the frequency and the vibration of their energies start to align and amplify your thoughts, your inner thoughts. So whatever is in your mind at the time of gazing at a crystal ball, and psychics like to use it to tell the future of others, and that could be the case if a psychic is really very empathic and intuitive and a good reader of other people's energy. Then their psychic empathic thoughts about other people will be amplified. And so they'll be looking at a ball, crystal ball, and it will amplify the energy of what they are seeing. And so it's not like the images really appear in the crystal ball, but it amplifies the energies of seeing those images and those events. So they will get more of a psychic confirmation of certain events and thoughts and things that are in alignment to what they have already kind of felt psychically. And so crystal balls work that way to amplify your psychic abilities and your psychic intuitions. And so they are an amplification of that. So that's why a lot of psychics use crystal balls, and you may have heard about them. And they are an interesting tool to have, because it gets you deeper into yourself and into your own thoughts. And it comes from a greater spirit that is beyond ego to help others. So that's why crystal balls have been used. And Galadriel's mirror, the fountain in Lothlorien, acts very much like a crystal ball. If you watched my video on that, I talked about how Frodo didn't get the images or messages from Galadriel. He got them from himself. She just opened the pathway to see his subconscious and his fears and show him what lies ahead in the path that everyone is part of, because it's all a part of the same source of energy that is fighting against the darkness and bringing forwards the light of the true self, the light of the victory of the light, going, fighting and basically triumphing against the darkness within and the darkness outside of ourselves as well. And so that was Galadriel's mirror. It allowed Frodo to focus on his most innermost thoughts. Same thing with a crystal ball. So I think I said it all. Let's get some questions and comments now, and we'll see if I can help you. I'm just going to clear this up a little bit. If you have any comments, I would love to hear it. But yes, create your own pendulum, and it will help you understand. What you could do is you could put it over certain parts of your body and see if it's moving in a circular motion. So this is going to be hard because I'm not lying down, but when you're lying down, and if it's moving in a circular, oh, there you go. If it's moving in a circular way, then it means that your chakra is moving in a spiral. You're not blocked. If you're blocked, it's going to go like this, because that's stagnant energy that can't move anywhere. It doesn't go in a spiral. A spiral is always open at the ends. It's never closed. It's not a full circle. It's open for possibilities to move upwards and also to move downwards too. And that is the truth of spiritual development and the consciousness as well. So let's go to comments now. And let's see if you have any questions. Go ahead and ask me. My Gavan and everybody. My Gavan and Sean. My Gavan and Tarja. Or Wyndon. Roxanne. Faith. GBT Palat. My personal diary. You must have a YouTube about your personal diary. I'm going to have to check that out. BC. Karen. Welcome. I wear a double terminated rose quartz pendant over my heart every day. Yes, that's the thing about jewelry. It gives you this constant surrounding of that energy from the crystals. So it's amplifying that energy. Rose quartz was one of the quartz crystals that truly helped me. I can remember very specifically after I experienced a really terrible heartache within my life, way before I met my husband. I went to a crystal store and I bought myself a quartz crystal heart, and I wore it, and I experienced almost an immediate feeling of release, and at peace. And it was a beautiful feeling. And so whenever anybody's saying that their heart hurts, or, if I had friends that would tell me that they were in emotional problems, I would offer them a rose quartz heart necklace. That is the best thing you can do for your heart. That pink energy is divine love, and you forget divine love when you get hurt and you experience certain events in your life. We need that reminder. So after you do crystal therapy, by leaving it on your body part for 15 minutes at the very least, allow those energies to work on you and to get those energy centers to be circulated once again. When you do that, you can also wear it as jewelry, rings, although this is not really a point of consciousness, but it can be connected to the heart. It can be connected to the solar plex, but it's more about the where you wear the jewelry. One of the ways also that I receive crystal energy is by wearing the crystal headdress. And so many of you have maybe noticed that advanced aliens or any type of beings, even the elves, they will certainly have some type of crystal crown or a crown. The reason is because having this crystal on your third eye helps to amplify energies. This is Larimar, so I'm amplifying some wisdom of Lemuria. I'm bringing that to surface. I'm also bringing the wisdom of Ulmo, the memory of water, and I'm bringing that right there to my third eye. So that's why in my videos I wear crystal crowns. It's not so much about saying I'm an elven queen. It's about tapping into those energies of those crystals on my third eye, so that when I do these videos, I really speak from a place that is channeling higher messages, that is about, feeling confident that I can put those out there, that I can see past the illusions of being made fun of or mocked or people not being ready. And I can see through the spiritual truth that we are ready. And so I wear crystals, moonstones I often wear. I wear Larimar. I wear labradorite. I really like wearing those. I would love to get maybe a rose quartz one. But yeah, it's true. Jewelry can truly give you that surrounding crystal energy all day. And I love it. GP Palat, well said. It's so helpful. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. Zodi hears your voice and calms down. Oh man, this is going to be a good one. Oh, good. I'm glad. Sometimes I think my voice is not calm, so Hanan Lay, thank you so much. Karen Wells Miller, I have a salt lamp that holds a tea candle. Wonderful. Yeah. Any way that you can produce heat with your salt lamp is going to help with the negative and the positive ions. Zodi, I like how you talked about how the sound frequencies and how they correlate with the crystal type and the specific chakra in the body, actually. Yeah, it's all about putting it together, right? And just seeing that we do have a roadmap. We do have a spiritual map here. We are not lost on earth. And that when you know this, you can always help yourself. You are not lost in the wilderness, you know, and that's really what I wanted to get to. Karen, it helps me tremendously. The salt lamp, yeah, it does. I love it in my room. Not only is it a beautiful glow, I mean, it puts your bedroom in like this. I mean, look at this. It's like this beautiful amber, warm glow, like gorgeous. But at the same time, it's good for you. It's good for you. And that's the whole thing, is it helps to neutralize any of the negative energies that might be from the EMFs of too much technology and some other types of toxins in the air as well. Everything is energy, and we have both negative and we have positive energy. And things that come from nature help us to neutralize the inorganic negative energy that is brought on as creations and inventions that have forgotten their connection to nature. Now, although our screen right now in our laptops and on our phone is quartz crystal, it's made of quartz crystal, there's also, it's not completely all organic and made in nature, but there is an element of it because everything is basically having nature elements to it. But the closer we get to nature, the closer we get to our balance and to ourself, of our pure spirit we are inside. So yeah, salt lamps all the way. Rita Young, I did many a sex scene of pregnancies using the pendant over the mama's belly. I thought back and forth was male and circle was female. Well, that is, no, it's not ever a direct answer of male or female. It is simply just aligning to yes, you're aligned, or no, you're incorrect, or it's not what you think, or try again. It's more about stagnant energy, and this is you're in circular alignment. So it can mean different things. It's never a direct type of answer. It's more about your flow of energy. So if you asked, is it going to be a female, or is it going to be, oh, isn't that nice? Oh, if I have a child, maybe I'll have a female. If it's going to be a female, it would go like this. And if it's going to be a male, if it's not going to be a male, it's going to be a stagnant energy that you know deep down inside. The whole point is that your body knows what your mind is hiding, which is so funny how we do that, right? It's like we hide from ourselves, but yet our body knows. So when we listen to our body and we listen to the energy of nature, our mind stops this chatter that sometimes is not the truth. It's not the truth all the way. And so it's important to have that mind-body connection so that your mind can also know when your body is telling its truth as well, or when your body is telling, when your body can tell you your mind is being truthful as well. Because listen to your body. If you don't feel good in the stomach about something, that is a place of fear. And that is a place of where your gut instinct is felt. So you have to follow your body, because your mind might push you forward and say, no, don't worry about that. Just go into that dark alley. But yet your intuition, which is connected to your heart, which funnels down into your stomach so that you feel a stomach kind of problem. And the indigestion that we get is from fear, not being able to digest our food all the way. So it's all about basically just listening to our body more. So yes. But yes, Rita, it can answer questions about what you're going to have, I guess, because it's all about getting the truth that you maybe know way, way down in your subconscious that your mind has forgotten. Karen, I use a Vogel crystal to find breaks in people's auras. If I hit a break, the crystal will pound in my hand. It's always been right. Yeah, they're very, very, very powerful. And if I had one that actually went on the other side, but they are about $100 or so to get the good ones because they have to be cut a certain way. I have seen some cheaper, but it is about the cut, and it's a very specific type of machine that they use to cut them. So that's why sometimes they can be more expensive. But I will get one day. I know I will. I'm just kind of waiting right now. But I like my spirit quartz, the half one, but at least it can show you the dimensions. It's still very powerful. Rita, yes, I just learned that. Thanks for clarifying. Stupid wives' tale gone wrong. Yeah, no problem. Well, that's why you can use it for other things and not just babies. You can use it to ask yourself, oh, am I going to get that promotion? Your body knows deep down inside, are you in alignment? Are you supposed to get that promotion? Is it supposed to lead you onto this journey of your spiritual development and your growth? Or are you not going to get that promotion and it's just stagnant energy that you should move on from and find something else? Your body will tell you. Roxanne, I have salt lamps and crystals all over the house. I like to hold a large clear point when I sleep. I wear an opalite pendulum just because I love the inner glow they have. Yeah, opalite is interesting, isn't it? It's really neat. I'm not sure the process, but it's like half man-made and half organic too. And so the science behind it is neat, how it was created, and it has a nice blue inner glow. And I think that is very healing and very calming. And of course, there is some energy because all things have energy. But yeah, if you sleep with crystals, if you sleep with an amethyst crystal under your pillow, I would not suggest sleeping with this one. This one might be uncomfortable, but if you have a nice smaller piece, if you sleep with an amethyst crystal, you're going to help open the third eye and give you more insight into your dreams. So when you wake up, you'll have more of a clear interpretation. It may help you with lucid dreaming as well. So yeah, there's lots of ways that you could sleep with crystals or use them. Karen, a friend thought she was having a heart trouble, but the crystal said it was thyroid. Oh, if you did a pendulum or just listening kind of to the crystal. And then she always suspected it was hypothyroidism. Yeah. Oh, thyroidism. Yeah. They do kind of feel similar, don't they? Because it's around that area. And so, yeah, if you can get a chakra set, you can really have every tool you need to increase the flow of blocked energy within your body. I'm not suggesting that this can be in place of medicine just yet. I think that we would have to have some type of consciousness revolution in all of humanity where we can accept the energy that we cannot see more into our reality for that to truly work. But I do believe that if you think about the advanced higher beings, aliens, whatever you want, fairies, you will see that they don't rely on medicine, but that they rely on their own type of energetic healing that can be gotten from nature and tools like crystals that are the epitome of nature itself. They show an evolution of nature, and they are the oldest things within nature, even older than trees. Trees themselves have a certain type of therapy too. There are many studies that show that just walking under a tree or sitting under a tree can help with that flow again of that stagnant energy. That is the key, something to take away from tonight. It is about blocked and stagnant energy. And the whole point of crystals and orgone energy and all that is to release that stagnant and repressed and blocked energy flow and shoot it out and get it out there. And also shoot it out of the meridian points of your body so that it's no longer just sitting there and blocking you and causing you mental, suffering and psychological problems, as William Reich suggested, because it's very true. His intuition was right on. And we can experience that in our life. There's a mind, body, soul connection. And crystals absolutely can help us. And when we start to use them with more confidence within our life, we can really get to the point where we start healing ourselves. It's not that I would say that psychologists or psychiatrists or counselors or even doctors would no longer be needed, but I think that we can get to an evolution. I personally have gotten to an evolution where I don't need outside help when I apply the tools of crystals and the spiritual realizations that can happen through meditation and through other forms of awakening within. And I guess that's all I wanted to say, but I can't wait to do the crystal grid one. I'm going to have to create it though. I want to create a much better one, and then I can show you how the crystal grid works. But this is the power of crystals, and Tolkien knew it too because he had so many crystals inside of his story. He had the elf stone, which was beryl, and he had emerald, and he had opal, and he had the Arkenstone, the heart of the mountain. And so Tolkien knew that there was a power in crystals, and that is something that won't go away. I think that it's something that will increase in knowledge as humanity and consciousness evolves. And we get to a point where we are using crystals daily. We are using crystals in a more profound way to energize our world. And yes, I am talking Atlantis once again. This is the rise of Atlantis and Lemuria. I'm all for it. So, Hen and Lei, everybody, I'm so glad that you were able to jump on. And if I did not answer some of your comments, I will get to it. I'm going to take a couple days off. I hope you enjoyed this video and the one I made before it. Remember those messages, keep them in your heart, and start to use crystals like they work, because they do. And it is proven on a quantifiable level. Namaste.